Good morning, everyone. Keith Johnson, CPA here with your Business Beat for Thursday, June 24th, 2021. Some news came out last night and today, so we have a lot to break down, and I don't know if we can get it all in, but we'll get a good chunk in. Dow futures or Dow opened up about 150 points. They are looking. Oh, it's a decent opening. It's not great, but there was some good information that came out this morning. First, the unemployment figures um, for work. We're seeing last week we had 412,000. That was raised up to 418. This week it clocked in at 411, so slightly lower, but still above the economist consensus forecast of 380. So, now that unemployment benefits are starting to go away, um, hopefully we should see some kind of a drop um, with a general trend of people going back to work. So, um, and also supply chains. We talked about that yesterday. Supply chain issues um, are heavily affecting production and travel with as far as getting people their stuff. Now, also the unemployment or not unemployment, but the GDP for the first quarter was finalized and it was unchanged at 6.4%. What happens is at the end of the quarter, the GDP is released, and usually at the end of the first month after the quarter, and then each month after that, it goes through one or two more revisions. So first quarter went through January through March. Um, end of April was the first release of the GDP. Then at the end of May, it gets revised. And then at the end of June is the final revision. So, since we're the third month after the quarter, this is the final baked in number. And it was 6.4%, which is the biggest gain we've seen since like about 1984. So it is, it's a good thing. We've had issues with the shutdowns and everything, but it was, I'm not counting the immediate snapback, but we're looking at a start to a fairly good year, I think, at least as far as the recovery goes. Now, having said that, there are a couple of threats to that. Yesterday, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen testified before Congress that the federal debt limit, which is now at $28 trillion, is going to be breached by the end of July. And she is pleading with Congress to raise the debt ceiling from 28 to maybe 30 or 31. Basically, what that means is the debt limit ceiling with Congress is very similar to your credit card. Your credit card, you have a spending limit, and if you spend more than that, then you can't, and your charges may get rejected, and your credit score will also take a hit. Well, basically, the same theory applies to the U.S. Congress sets the spending limit, as it were, and every so often we go up to it. And so what has to happen is that Congress has to approve an increase in the credit limit. So what happens there is that if it doesn't get hit, then the U.S. can't pay its treasury obligations, interest and all that, because it's overspending its credit limit. And then also, the credit standing of the United States will drop. It did several years ago for the first time in American history. So when something like that, what would happen is that the U.S. would default on its obligations, and right now the U.S. is relying on foreign investors to buy U.S. Treasury certificates, notes, bonds, all of that. If the foreign investors do not see, or American investors do not see the U.S. as a creditworthy person or entity, then they will be forced to raise the interest rates. Now, what that would do is it would cut off funding and cash flow to American businesses, which would impact jobs and really impact the recovery from the virus. So it's very similar in theory to what you would see with a credit card, but unlike Congress can raise the credit ceiling. However, what's going to happen is that the GOP members of Congress, who, as you know, are very, very, very close to the Democrats in terms of numbers. They are, starting to demand that their spending decreases and all of that, which, to be honest, is pretty hypocritical because they were like spend, spend, spend under President Trump, and now they're saying, well, we have to be more fiscally responsible. So I never like people who are like hypocritical. So if you're gonna do something, own it, be consistent. So expect a huge ramp up in this story right after 4th of July. And Congress does their annual recess, usually the first few days of August, and they reconvene around Labor Day. So something will have to be done. So this is not something can down the road. So expect this story to ramp up considerably in the next couple of weeks. Durable goods have jumped considerably because of increased transportation needs. However, of course, as you know, there is a chip shortage because of issues. Right now, Taiwan holds the cards, and actually, the issue is that there's a company in Taiwan. I believe it's the TSMC, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company. Basically, right now, they produce in Taiwan 92% of the world's top quality computer chips. These are the stuff that goes into our cars, our airplanes, our utility grids, and all of that. So, as you can imagine, right now, American companies are scrambling to bring the supply chain back over here. However, that's going to take a couple of years in order to do so, and not without a fight from Taiwan. So what that means is you can see some additional tensions between the People's Republic of China and Taiwan and us, because Taiwan right now holds pretty much all the cards as far as computer chip manufacturings go. And if China attacks Taiwan, now we've been committed to defending Taiwan since 1949 when they broke away from the People's Republic, but there's much more incentive to do so now if there was something. So this is something we could wake up to down the road in the next 6 to 12 months and find that World War III is starting. And this would be a possible reason why. So definitely stay tuned to that. Let's see. Basically, I think that's it. The IRS I was going to talk about something else with the IRS. I'll save that for tomorrow. There is uh, the IRS is coming out with a some systems improvements so that families that are eligible for the child tax credit will be able to get them probably in starting July 15th and get those on a monthly basis through December. So we're going to go through that. Looks like I would say go to irs.gov, but we'll stay on top of that as far as sending out information. So anyway, that should do it for today. Yeah, I do owe you a discussion about some major IRS problems that the IRS really doesn't want you to know, but we get firsthand knowledge of it from the boots on the ground. So we're going to try to share that in the next couple of days. In the meantime, thank you so much. Thank you for the person that follows me every day, logs in, and I definitely appreciate your viewing. Hopefully, we get some more people viewing. And take care of each other and have a great day. Bye.